Hello and welcome to Real Talk, live from University of Salford's Media City UK campus, where we'll be taking a sip from hot gossip this week. Coming up, we'll be talking royal family, Tinder dates, and later we ask the questions that need answers. But first, let's meet our panel.
Hi, I'm Toby from Oxford.
Hi, I'm Johnny from Carlisle.
I'm Alice from Leicester.
And I'm Adiva from Sheffield. Let's jump right into the papers. It's time for Hot Pages. So the first magazine I had a look at was Hello. I found an article on Gwyneth Paltrow hosting a wellness dinner party telling guests to show up with no makeup. Is this a new trend? And should we ditch the makeup more often?
It's a difficult one, isn't it? I feel like it's personal choice.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, like I feel like if someone doesn't want to wear makeup, that's absolutely fine. But it isn't something.
You shouldn't be told don't wear makeup for this event.
Yeah.
But it's sort of like an empowering thing, I'd say. Would you not?
Yeah.
It's quite open because it tells everyone that it's going to be quite a free environment.
Yeah.
That no one's going to have that kind of boundary.
Sometimes there could be sort of like that pressure, you know, you need to look a certain way, but if you're comfortable in your own skin, obviously, it's a bit of a...
I mean, I think it's unfair because some people, you know, just don't feel comfortable now without wearing makeup, you know. And
What about you,
girls...
Alice? Would you turn up to an event without makeup on?
I wouldn't, but then I guess there's like different stages of makeup, like if it's really like the strong look, like you've got the black eyes, like you've got a really dark look going on, or if it's more of a subtle, like a natural look. So I think there's like you could get away with like a no makeup look. So do you know what I mean? Like you could get away with that.
Of course, we have to. Of course, we have to know Gwyneth Paltrow is a natural beauty. You know, so you know she can turn up to
she can turn up to
event without makeup. You know, exactly.
I personally, I wish there was more events where I didn't have to wear makeup too, because it's just effort, I think.
Yeah.
I like the process of putting it on. That's my like weak point. Like, I just love putting it on. It's like people always say to me, "Why are you wearing makeup?" I like putting it on. I like doing it in the mornings.
What about you guys? What's your routine when you're going out?
I mean, I'm ready in like 5, you know. Pop my top on and I'm there.
Well, I was just saying, like, I sometimes put it on the eyebrows.
So you can see here that this is where she's her and a friend with no makeup on. They do look good.
They look great, don't they? You know?
Yeah.
So it's not like they've got like big outfits on still. Like it's not like they're wearing like joggers and a hoodie. Like.
Tobias, what magazine have you been having a look at this week?
This week I've been looking in New magazine, where reality star Fern McCann tells all about her love life, except the name of the lucky man she's with. I wanted to ask the panel, does the public have the right to know who a celebrity is dating? Do you think it should be a secret?
Bit of a tricky one. To some extent, I mean, if she wants to keep him quiet, then that's completely her choice. I don't think we have the right to know. It's public interest because they are showbiz people, aren't they? I mean, come on, everyone knows who Fern is. But if she does want to keep that part of her life quiet,
do you not think he would find it weird that, why does she not want to show me off? Why does she not want to?
It might be his decision though.
Yeah.
You never know. You know.
The thing is, in the article, she couldn't confirm who it was, but she said that it would be revealed on the next season of First Time Mum. So even though you're kind of saying she's allowed to keep it a secret, at the same time she's sort of holding it for like
TV then,
which
isn't it?
so she's kind of not
building up a bit of suspense. I think that's a bit strange as well, building up suspense.
Maybe
to sort of like
ITV
reveal
have
your
said
partner.
to her, you need to keep this as an exclusive.
It would probably pay her extra.
Just
but
to get
honest,
everyone
I'd
to
take
watch.
the extra money.
My thing is even if she kept him a secret, someone's going to find out eventually. You know, someone's going to leak it to the press. The press are going to find out. So she might as well just.
They're not going to be locked away. Someone will see them together.
Yeah, exactly. Like.
So when would you say is the right time to announce your partner on social media? For us and for celebrities, I suppose.
I'd say after you've like introduced them to your family.
That's what I was going to say.
When they are a part of your life.
How many months? Let's get into.
Oh wow!
Oh God! It depends on the situation, you know.
It's different, I think.
I
don't know, because some people it happens really quick. Some people it takes years.
I think with some relationships, everything seems a bit structured. So like they put a certain amount of time. Right after 3 months, I'll put you on social media. I think it needs to be natural.
If it was a matter of weeks, then I'd be a bit like, oh, that's a bit quick. You know what I mean? But.
But people have to keep in mind, like, once you put on the internet, there's kind of no going back. So
have any of you had a relationship that you've kept off social media for any reasons?
No.
I have another relationship.
Welcome to the club.
jealous.
Yeah, so no, we haven't had that problem.
I'm the opposite. I'm always putting things on social media, I think, yeah.
So what about you, Johnny? What magazine have you looked at this
So
week?
I had a look at an article in Hello magazine looking for the divorce of the Earl of Swindon and his wife, the Countess. They have been married for 26 years. I wanted to ask the panel, what are your thoughts on someone in the royal family having a divorce? Should it be allowed? What do we think?
So that's them two. Sorry, and that's the Earl of
so that's
Snowdon.
them there when they
The Snowdon, yeah, not Swinton.
Oh, did I say Swinton? Sorry, guys.
About that.
Yes, that's them getting married there, and I presume that's a more recent photo, I guess. Yeah.
Well, they have aged quite well. Let me just say that.
Yeah.
Especially the lady.
Yeah. Anyway, I've never seen them before. But
But
what do you think?
yes. So the royal family divorces. What do we think?
I mean, I think it's just part of everyday life, isn't it?
Yeah.
Everyone
We're
is
in
allowed to have a
2020
divorce.
now, like,
you know,
they need to keep up with the times. Like, if that's what they're feeling, then fair enough. You can't force someone to be in love with someone they're not.
But this is the royal family. I mean, is this some sort of, role model type?
I get that there is a pressure.
Traditions?
There is a pressure, but I don't feel like they should be forced into
Not at all.
carrying on.
It makes them more real that they're doing everything.
If anything, it makes them a good influence for other people following in their
They're
footsteps.
more of a role model.
Yeah.
If they're like just following real life. Like, There's no point putting a false screen on them, like portraying them as someone they're not. So.
Speaking of this, I mean, obviously Meghan and Harry as well. What do you think about them moving away? Personally, I think in terms of that divorce and them moving away from the royal family, it's modern times, not really encouraging people to not have any feelings or do anything that they don't want to do. That's what I think. So what do you guys think about that?
I completely agree with you. And I think,
happy for them.
particularly with the Harry and Meghan situation, Meghan had a difficult time with the press and things, and obviously Harry's got a past experience with the press, with his mum and things. So I can kind of see where they're coming from,
Yeah, I think even still people like Piers Morgan, if you've seen on Twitter, he still comes for this. He just doesn't. There's just no end to people like that who want to attack people. So I think good on them and good on her for getting away and doing her own thing.
They're strong enough to just do it themselves, just go off and be happy.
Are any of you big fans of the royal family?
Not personally.
Not majorly,
no.
no.
I think they're nice to have.
Yeah.
I think it's nice because it
I'm
symbolises
quite a big fan.
The
Britain.
Queen.
Yeah.
I think our generation have kind of
we do
not
kind
as fussed with them as the others.
Well, they're just sort of there. They're just.
Oh,
We're just
always
used
going to be
to it.
there.
It's nice that it's a tourist attraction and everything and all that, but I don't know. I would never penalise someone for getting divorced or anything like that.
No, definitely not.
It's awful.
Personal ties. That's Alice. What's your magazine?
My article is from the OK magazine on the 90s group Boyzone, who are making a comeback. However, the group have decided to rename themselves Boys on the Block. Panel, what do we think of their new name? Do we think this is a cry for needing more money?
Oh, I just don't like the name.
They've got a legacy. Why would they want to change that name? I don't
they
understand
don't make
that.
performers like us anymore, which I don't think's entirely correct.
I disagree there.
Also, Boys with a Z on block in 2020.
Yeah,
really?
I don't know.
Boys with a Z.
Yeah, would you say they're trying to sort of reinvent themselves, a bit fresh? Or...
I don't know. They got the name, the inspiration from a news article where it was Bad Boys on block. So at least they'd made it a bit better with getting rid of the bad boys. That would have made it really bad.
I mean, they look quite old now to be
It
doing
seems
it.
like they're still trying to be down with the kids a bit.
Just by the poses that they're doing and things, to me, it makes me cringe.
It's screaming dad to me and uncle.
Yes, definitely.
We're getting uncle vibes from this. I'm not really sure about it, but I've got to give them a chance.
I'm sure there'll be mums and things that'll be like, oh yeah, Boyzone's back, and they'll get money from that.
So it is for the money at the end of the day, really, I think.
I don't think they're going to be getting fans from people in our age.
Do you think this is like a plan? Like when these groups fizzle out back in the day and whatever, they think, in 20 years I'm going to...
Yeah, it's like JLS
They all do it, don't they?
Take that and...
Pussycat Dolls.
All of them.
They've all came back, haven't they?
Right, are we bothered when they make a big announcement? Or
with JLS, they've just announced they're coming back. Everyone was on jumping on tickets for that.
I can't lie with that one. I mean, JLS, I was a big fan of them.
I love Pussycat Dolls on Saturday Night Takeaway.
Yes.
Did you see? They were
so good.
But is it Pussycat Dolls or Nicole?
That is the thing.
It's the Nicole show now, isn't it?
It's Nicole.
It's
It's always been that I think, and now it's just screaming Nicole. Nicole.
It is a bit uncomfortable sometimes. I'm like, oh.
She needs to give them a bit of chance.
Because some of them can sing, actually. You know, the others can actually sing. I don't know about them all, but like Melody, who left the group, she could actually sing. Like, she was a good singer. But now she's gone, so yeah. Nicole's great, but get the others in. You know what I mean?
Okay, well that's it for Hot Pages then. Let's have a look at what we've made on the trending list this week on social media. This week on social media, we found out that Kanye and Kim's daughter, Northwest, has a lot of confidence. At 6 years old, she made her rapping debut at Kanye West's fashion show. But unfortunately, not everyone was here for North's performance. The song she decided to sing sounded very familiar to star child Zaza, and her team were not shy about pointing it out. Kim has later apologised and paid homage to Zaza, but panel, do we think because they are children it matters? Or should Kim and Kanye have made it clear that this was Zaza's song in the beginning?
Definitely.
Yeah.
100% for me. Copyright is copyright. I just think it's Zaza's song, then...
Because when I watched the performance, it was played out very much as though it's kind of her song and that she...
Even more.
But, yeah, I know.
She doesn't know what's going on. No, but, like, I don't blame her for it.
No, I don't think anyone's blaming her.
Yeah, but the thing is, should Kanye and Kim have made it clear from the beginning?
Isn't it?
No, because it's also not setting good influence on her as, you know, as a new artist, as she emerges, and she's, even as a really, really young artist, that she's going to think it's okay to steal other people's work and...
But I mean, she's only 6 years old, so I don't think she really understands all of that just yet.
Yeah, but I mean, if she's starting off like that, where's she going to end up?
I do understand.
By the time she's Kim and Kanye's age, she's following in his footsteps.
Exactly.
This is Zaza here.
Oh.
Yeah, she's very sassy.
She's cooler than me. Already.
If I had to pick another child to sing one of her songs, then it would be North, because North has always been a bit sassy.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you can see kind of the similarities between them in the style and things.
Yeah,
definitely.
You
know?
So here's the message that Zaza's team have put out. Should get that up here. Right, so in July of 2019, Zaza and her dad went into the studio for the ultimate experience to finally begin making the music she wanted to make. We take pride in creativity and believe whether a child's involved or an adult, creativity deserves respect, capital letters, and homage. What Kim Kardashian and Kanye West are doing with their daughter, with the inspiration of Zaza and our family in mind, is okay. We're not mad, but please show love and support to the original first. What do we think, panel?
Yeah, it's the key word there's respect, isn't it? And I think it's kind of been missed off in a way, you know.
I'm fine with that message. I don't think it's snotty in any way.
I think Kim and Kanye should feel quite lucky that they've still been quite lenient in that, I think.
I think at the end of the day, though, like, they'll get more recognition for the song now.
Exactly.
Like, so they should kind of, but then I guess you don't want it to be, you don't want it to be like North that's getting
Kim has apologised, but we'll move on to the other one. So Maura Higgins announced last night that she has split from her Love Island partner, Curtis Pritchard, sorry, excuse me. The couple came third in last year's series and have been together for only 8 months. It is Love Island. So panel, did we see this coming?
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Even when they were in the villa, I thought that they were just a bit of a strange couple, you know, and that's 8 months ago. But just when she first said that she kind of fancied him and liked him, everyone was shocked, weren't they? Because they're so kind of different personalities.
Yeah, she's very fiery and he's very soft.
Yeah.
So
I'm surprised they lasted 8 months.
So am I.
Yeah.
And she's on Dancing on Ice at the moment, so
I was just about to say,
everything happened like you love on your dancing part.
There has always been them suspicions about them two, whether it's genuine or not. Do you think it was a bit to do with the money and just keeping a bit of fame after Love Island or what?
Didn't they present the...
They presented the NTA's red carpets together.
I bet they were holding off for that because Danny and Jack, they're supposed to do that. They split up just before.
So. I feel like after Love Island, there's never an instant breakup. It always seems like after a certain amount of time.
I think it's in a contract. It must be or something.
Well, we don't know that for sure, but we can always speculate, isn't it? All right, so let's move on to the next one. We've got Megan Thee Stallion has outed one of her 2 music labels, 1501. revealing that they do not want her to release new music. On Instagram Live, Megan went on to say that she signed with the label when she was only 20 years old and did not understand the full terms of her contract. She is now suing the label and has been granted a temporary restraining order, which will allow her to release new music this Friday. Do you think Megan was wrong for signing a contract she didn't know what was in it? Or do you think the label took advantage of her and her age?
I think they took advantage of her.
Yeah.
Because when you're a struggling artist and you wanted to find a way in, you're obviously just going to take you're just going to take the first chance that you get, aren't you? So who can blame her? But it is difficult, as the label has done that.
Yeah.
It's difficult for her.
Yeah, I mean, 20 years old is young. Like, what?
Would she not have had someone to read through the contract?
Well, this is the thing. A lot of people on Twitter and stuff have been saying that she should have had a lawyer present, or she might have had a lawyer. But I mean, there's still other artists that have come forward to say that they've had lawyers with them and they still missed out little bits in the contract. Because I mean, contracts they can have some big words in there, Not everyone's going to understand them.
It all happens so quickly as well. Like the record label will want to snap her up quick and get out songs.
It's probably a bit of a rush process, I can imagine.
Yeah.
So are the record label not wanting to renew kind of the contract to take it, and they're not wanting to go further?
Well,
she wanted successful.
She wanted to change, renegotiate some of the terms in it, and the label wasn't really being that nice about it. So I think that's why she decided to go through the route of suing them now.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Difficult one. Yeah.
Can't remember. So comedian Joe Lassiter has legally changed his name to Hugo Boss in protest against the fashion brand who have allegedly been targeting smaller companies that have the word boss or similar. The cease and desist letters are costing businesses thousands in legal fees and rebranding. Panel, do you think this is petty or the best idea ever?
It's just funny, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
I think this is petty level 100.
Definitely.
But it's petty in the best way.
Yeah,
it is.
for sure.
It is because these big companies, like I said, is taking advantage of.
There was
people.
the story the brewery in I think it was Swansea.
Yeah, Boss Brewery.
Yeah, Boss Brewery, and they'd had some beers, and Hugo Boss sued them. And they've had to pay over £10,000.
It's about £10,000 by the time they've rebranded and everything like that.
It's just unbelievable.
Particularly when Hugo Boss is such a well-established and renowned brand, they don't need to go against a little brewery.
Yeah.
It's I just don't understand it.
I saw a few minutes ago that Joe has just tweeted that last year he secretly did a little trademark on.
Right.
A little Hugo Boss brand name, and nobody noticed it, and it's just ended. So he then tweeted that.
Do you think it'll last though? Do you think he's going to keep it now? Because it's not like he's not got the money to change it back or whatever.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to.
Who knows? Yeah.
So will he be Hugo Boss forever?
That's the
thing. When does the pettiness end?
Exactly. It'd be weird, wouldn't it? If we
it'll be outdated soon. No one's going to look at it anymore.
Yeah.
But in terms for big brands, is it okay for Hugo Boss to take, sort of advantage of the fact that they've got millions to spend on coming? Yeah. I
think there gets to a point where it becomes ridiculous. We know who Hugo Boss is. We don't.
Exactly.
If there's a Hugo Brewery or whatever you were saying, it's okay.
Yeah. Like I said before, it's a well-renowned brand. People know it. It's just. It doesn't make any difference, does it, whether there's a Boss Brewery?
Yeah, not really.
Yeah, because Joe said on Victoria Derbyshire, he's I'm not going to start rubbing Heineken on me as a perfume.
We have to move on now. So finally, the Netflix US series Love is Blind has come to an end and has raised many questions, which were spoken on briefly in last week's show. And now there are rumours of a UK series. Have any of us been watching Love is Blind? I mean, I've finished it.
I've watched it
every...
I think I've watched up to Mexico.
Right,
so I think that's the third
so I'll explain a little bit what it is then, if any of you
don't
know.
I've seen it, I've heard about it, but I haven't seen it.
But briefly, okay, so basically it's males and females. They're in a house, separate parts of a house, never seen each other before, and they get put in these pods. Now, in the pods, you have to do some various dates and stuff like that with each other, but they can't see each other.
They've all got notepads.
That's the main thing.
They're taking notes on each other.
Right.
So they talk to each other through these pods, but they've never seen each other, and they don't leave the pods until they decide if they're going to marry each other or not. So,
gosh,
either the man or the woman will propose, then they see each other,
I can't believe you not watched it.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's a social experiment to see if Love is Blind.
Wow. Is it almost Netflix's take on The Circle?
It's similar. It's got Circle vibes, yeah,
Right.
definitely. But the end of it, I mean, they go on holiday, they move in together, all within a space of 4
meet the
weeks, and then they
families
get
and
married.
stuff.
So.
And so they never see each
you
other for this
think-
whole period.
No,
no.
only
For the
after
fir- for 4
the
weeks.
first bit.
Oh.
So as soon as they
So do we
Right,
think? Do we
okay.
think Love is Blind? What do you think?
Oh my word.
It's a difficult one, isn't it? Like, I think it's a mixture of, you have to have that.
That
You have to have that
yeah,
attraction,
definitely.
don't you?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I mean, even like Curtis and Maura, like
Yeah.
they met not blind, and then
Yeah.
they didn't work out.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I mean?
But
Like,
is
like-
Love Blind? That's what we're saying.
Yeah.
Is it? Can you fall in?
No,
Do you think
no,
you could fall
no.
in love with somebody
I-
without ever
no.
seeing them?
No, I don't think I could.
Not
No.
at all. Not for me, anyway. I think, don't get me wrong, personality is so important, but
But
you
even
have
like
to have
through
that
like facial
attraction.
expressions and stuff, you can see more about a personality. Like
Yeah.
you can so easily switch your voice up and stuff.
Okay.
just
Well, it's
think-
time for question time now. I'm going to ask you some more questions. We've got some cheeky scenarios. It's question time. So first question, is clubbing with your parents acceptable or embarrassing?
Acceptable.
Acceptable, yeah.
Acceptable.
Definitely.
But my parents would not be down for
Same with
clubbing
me.
at
Same
all.
with me.
I've been out of my mum a fair amount of times.
Really?
Yeah, definitely.
And I think that's so cool. Like, I love that you and your
Brilliant.
mum can just go out
Like
and just...
nightclub or just bars, like.
Like bars, we've been to a club before as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, yeah.
I
But she
wish.
looks quite young, and my brother was there as well, and everyone thought that she was my brother's girlfriend. So it was slightly,
Wow,
it did get
that's
slightly
brilliant. Oh,
awkward.
God.
But yeah, it was a good laugh. I
Was
think
she-
that it's nice when I see people out of
Yeah.
their parents.
Was she doing shots with you and things? Was she kind of
Oh,
keeping up?
yeah, definitely. If you're out with me, you've got to do shots.
Love that, love that.
Mother or not.
I think it's cool. I think it's great if you can go out clubbing with your parents,
Yeah.
you know.
Have
I
any of you
think
been
it's
out
just-
with your parents before?
No, I haven't.
I've
I
been out
wouldn't
with
dare
like
take my
friends'
mum.
parents, and like it's been absolutely fine. Like they just join in like they're one of us, so
Wow.
doesn't really make a
I'd
difference.
love to go out with
Yeah.
my mum and her friends. Like,
Do
see what
it?
yeah, but they wouldn't. Like, they would not go to a club ever.
So next question. Is it okay for people to apply their makeup on the train?
Yeah.
Of course.
Cool.
Every like on the
Don't see
50 in the morning, I always see people. I know it's like,
Yeah.
I know it's like a train, but people are always doing their makeup on the way to uni.
Does it not annoy you though? You
Well,
know?
as long
I
as
like
they're not
watching
like
it.
sat next to me, they're getting powder on me, you know, and they're getting everything everywhere. But I don't see
I
any
would
problem
feel
with it.
quite worried for them, like, because it can be like quite bumpy.
I feel a bit envious when I see people doing that because I can barely do my makeup on a normal day,
Yeah.
let alone a train. I'm just
Yeah.
like, how are you doing that? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah. In 2020, is Tinder overrated and unrealistic, or is there still hope at finding love?
I think there's still hope,
I think there
definitely.
is.
My brother and his girlfriend have been together 2 years now, and they met on Tinder.
Really?
So yeah. I
Are
think
any of
it's
you guys on
lovely.
Tinder?
I am.
Okay.
Don't go on it often, but yeah, I am.
Yeah,
I
do
am.
you? Go on it often.
Hasn't got anything though.
I
Hasn't
think
got anywhere.
there's that element, like, when you download it at first, everyone's like, oh, this is quite fun, but then it just gets a bit boring.
I don't understand
think
it.
it
I've
is.
I never
done it.
joined. I never
Why?
joined the hype. I've never even downloaded it.
No, I've never had it.
I just quite enjoy just swiping through and just
I
like,
just like
I just
looking at
quite
people.
enjoy like
I do
seeing
that on my
people and
misguided
things.
app though, with my if I like the clothes or I don't like
Yeah.
the clothes. I find the same amount of enjoyment.
Yeah.
I think it's
can't
possible to
imagine.
find love from it though.
Yeah.
You know, it's just
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
Because then it gives everyone an opportunity to, like, if someone was like at home, you know, they might be a bit scared to go out and like
Yeah.
meet someone or find
Yeah,
someone in
yeah,
public.
exactly.
Then it's giving everyone an opportunity to meet people.
the only thing is
Yeah.
I just worry that it's kind of getting away from, you know, when people used to go to a bar and they just used
Meet
to
at
like,
the bar,
you know, that
yeah.
lovely
Yeah.
thing where the like
So
couples
say-
would just start in a bar and things or
So say you've
places
reached
like that.
25 now, no relationship on the cards. Would you go on Tinder? Would you go on Tinder to find love, I should say?
Well, yeah, that's what my brother did.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Why
Well,
not?
I'm touching 25 in 2 years, so that might have to be what I'm doing. Yeah. So next question then. If somebody has been sent to prison, should they serve the full sentence? For example, someone is serving a 10-year sentence, should they serve it all? 'Cause I think at the
Blimey.
moment, when you get given a sentence, you only do half the time.
Right.
So why did they give you the full sentence in the first place?
Because it's suspended
Yeah, so it's put-
sentence. So you do it like on a tag or.
So as long
is that
as
right?
you're
Well, it's
Yeah.
parole for good behaviour, so
Yeah, if you
it's
behave
sort of like
well.
leeway. If you misbehave or whatever, they might extend your time. I'm not too sure about that, but you do half of the time. Not sure I
so
know
if
all
you
this.
get caught doing something bad, then you can be put away for like longer, I think.
Yeah.
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 So if you like make another crime in prison, obviously your time would go up.
Yeah. It's good because it gives people a chance, but oh my word, we're getting deep now.
I
We're getting
know,
It's a tough one,
yeah.
isn't it? You know, if they've been given that, it depends.
So should they serve the sentence?
Yeah. If they've
You
been
think
given
the
that
full-
sentence,
the
then I
full
think they
thing?
should probably do it.
So what about doing
personally.
half and then, you know,
I think
people can change.
behaviour
A
dependent.
10-year sentence, 5 years, a
Yeah.
person can change, can't they?
I guess if they're
Yeah.
given that thing to work for, you know, if they've been told, you know, if you are good, if your behaviour is good and things, then you can get parole. Then that maybe is something that's quite positive, you know.
And they can work towards getting that.
Well,
yeah.
let's turn it up a little bit. What about, for example, a murder sentence or something? Should they serve their full time?
I think it's like situational. Like if it was like self-defense murder, I think it just depends on each like individual.
Is it, yeah.
But I think they need to do their time.
Yeah.
If they've been rehabilitated, then yeah.
Because every story is different, but a judge isn't going to give you a sentence unless you deserve it. So I think if they've given it to you, I think you should do it.
I think they should start at half and then see the behaviour and that kind of stuff. There should be a lot of assessments and whatever in terms of whether they get out after the halfway mark or if they serve more time. So I think, yeah. So let's talk about university. Is university life overrated? As first years, did you expect more from the experience? That was you guys as first years.
Yeah.
Not at all, really. I don't think. I just think we're very limited. Like we've got 3 days in uni.
Yeah.
2 of them are half days, 1 full day. Like the time we're here is just so minimal. It's ridiculous.
I have to admit, though, I am loving university.
Yeah, I am.
You know,
Wait until you get to second year.
But I do get your point. You know, we're for the amount that we're paying, it has to be said, we're not in uni that much, are we? You know,
we're not.
when, you know, we're
It's
literally
not-
9 hours
it's
a week
not.
at
As a
times.
third year
you know.
student now, I can say it's not what I expected.
No.
I don't know what I expected.
No. I think when you come from, say, you guys came from sixth form, I haven't, but you have. When you're doing like pretty much 9 till 4s, you know, it's a big drop, you know, to go down to like 3 hours in a day. You know, it's
Yeah, because we always talk about like back in high school when you'd get up and, you know, school at 9 a.m. till 3 or GCSEs till 5.
So what about the party lifestyle of uni? Did you do freshers, that kind of stuff? Was that what you expected?
I think so.
I think our freshers was kind of a bit more, what's the word?
Like,
Wild?
No,
Was it wild?
No, it was less wild than I was expecting.
the build up.
So did you go on like a week bender or what did you do?
No.
Oh,
You
I
see,
did.
you did.
You came to uni earlier, though, didn't you?
Yeah.
I did. I came earlier, so I kind of.
For that reason,
yeah.
to get a bit more party nights in.
Yeah, I wanted to like
Oh.
meet people earlier and like make more friends.
Yeah.
Because I was really worried about just ending up being on my own, so I didn't want to be last.
But you
in.
enjoyed
Did that
it a
plan
few
work?
nights.
Yeah.
Did it work? Did you make more
It
friends?
did, yeah. I did make more friends that way.
Yeah, well, that's good.
My
I wish
uni
I did
experience
that.
has got wilder since freshers though. Like my
Yeah.
nights out are so
We
much
used
better
to go
now.
out and fresh as just us two, like we were
Yeah,
just like,
because that's
okay.
all we knew. Like we didn't know each other
Yeah.
any more people really, did we? But no, I've really enjoyed
It
university.
gets better the more
Yeah.
friends you're making.
Definitely,
I think,
definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It is a good experience.
Yeah.
So last question now. If there's one bit of advice you would give to people thinking of coming to uni, what would it be?
Consider whether it's for the right reasons. I
Yeah.
think, you know,
What's
consider
your
what.
outcome at the end?
So not
Yeah.
for the partying.
Not for the partying,
Totally
no.
over here.
Don't get me wrong,
Not
it's
for the
great.
student loan.
But consider, you know, what you're wanting to do, whether the university course is actually going to help you get there
Yeah.
or not. You know,
Or if there's a better way into what you're wanting to achieve.
exactly, because it is expensive, you know, and
I'd say make sure you're willing to start with a blank canvas.
Yeah.
Because uni, no matter who you are, I think you have to sort of start fresh
Yeah.
and find your ground.
What would you say, Alice? What's your advice?
I think budgeting for me, like you've got to use your money wisely because you run out so quickly, as Johnny knows.
as I know well.
That's all we have time for on Real Talk. Thank you to the panel and thank you guys for watching the show. We'll see you next week for another episode of Real Talk and some more hot tea.
Bye.